Sectors. Yeah, so there are times, Sparty, when a sector versus stock. So when the markets are undecided, there is a narrative and there is a setup, but the markets feel like they're kind of, stuck. So we're not in a correction, and we're also not in a trending higher, you know, explosive move. We're not in that either. We're in these small corrections, rebounds, bounces. When you're in this kind of undetermined kind of move, when you look at the ETFs, the ETFs are going to be stuck too. They're just going to look like they're not really moving. And so when that happens, you're better off looking at the individual stock when there's just not a lot of movement overall, because stocks can move on an individual basis, but the ETF might just stay stuck in the mud here. So you got to pick the right stock. A little bit harder to do, but you look for relative strength. No, I never use a scanner really. I have my list, and I've got my I have my go-to sectors. So I guess the answer is really, um, when you look at a sector, like let's take what we did the other day. We did XRT. That's retail. Why? Well, because some of them are up and some of them are down. We got a bad report overall. So the bad report overall means that the overall sector is going to lag. But if I pick Walmart and Walmart comes out with something, or an analyst says, oh, Walmart's going to do great this year because they're going to be able to sell Chinese batteries or whatever, Walmart shoots up and I'm dead. Or a stock that just doesn't go anywhere. It goes up, it goes down, sideways. But the overall sector most likely is going to move in spite of whatever Walmart does. So for now, I'm trading XRT. If all of a sudden Target starts falling apart, lower lows, I could add to the trade by adding some Target if I wanted to. Now, once you're in trend, what doesn't matter which direction, once you're in trend and the retail sector is doing swimmingly great, do I want to take XRT up here? Probably not. I'm going to want to look at a bunch of stocks in XRT. Walmart, through the roof, right? Target, through the roof. Well, that's why the XRT is up here. Which charts are setting up for the catch-up trade? As I said before, does this make sense? Like, how about Ross? How about Lululemon? How many of them are down here that need to catch up? This works really great in the energy sector. So, XOM through the roof, right? CVX through the roof. Some are refineries and some are not. EOG, Devon, everything looks great. Oxy, it's kind of lagging, but look what Oxy's doing. I'm picking Oxy because Oxy needs to catch up. Because what they'll do is, watch this, if they like this sector, but they already made their money on one of these or more, they want to sell and take profits, but they still like the sector. So they put the money here, which boosts that one up too. See how that works? So Russ, I mean, you could use a scanner if you wanted to, but typically I like to look at cyclical, cyclical stocks. If the dollar is hurting, what stocks are affected when the dollar goes up, when the dollar goes down? If the 10-year yields are going higher and higher and higher, what stocks, what sectors get affected by that? Because that's in the news and that's in the news. What gets affected by the VIX? Well, we already know that those are the big cap stocks. So do I have enough choices here? If the VIX is on the move, I'm trading these. If yields are on the move, where am I going? Home builders, real estate, right? What is it, XLRE or whatever it is. There's a bunch of them, IYR. If the dollar is on the move, What am I looking at? Metals, gold, silver, GDX, Microsoft, Apple. VIX also affects big tech. And if I see that the semiconductor market is being affected, I can go NVIDIA. If it's communications, I can go Netflix if I want to. If I want to look at utilities, if I want to look at, basic risk off things, So I've got my choices here. I don't really need to look at 7,000 stocks when I got some metal stocks I could trade. I got some semiconductors that are perfectly fine to trade that have a lot of volume coming their way. Big cap stocks like Meta and Apple, right? Perfectly fine there. Yields get what affects yields? High dividend stocks. Really great to trade when yields are dropping. When yields drop, high dividend stocks become attractive. Jump into those. So you don't really need to have 7,000 stocks and a scanner and all that kind of stuff.
Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video from Trade With Me Now. Make sure to go ahead and like this video and subscribe to our channel so you make sure that you catch our next video right when it's released. Also, if you have a question or comment, please leave that in the comments section below. And of course, if you want to learn more about Trade With Me Now or join our community of profitable traders, go to tradewithmenow.com. There's also a link in the description below.